edge of Aberystwyth. I'm planning to go along this coast path. But I just walked out to the end of this pier to have a look. It's forecast to start raining quite heavily today, so we will see how that goes. No stranger to getting wet. It's just coming around to the first cliff. Looks like a nice big one to start off with. Feels like it's probably going to be a windy one today. Probably going to be a windy one today, which is not ideal, but nothing you can really do about the weather. I think yesterday's weather would have been perfect for walking along the coast. Today it's not going to be so great. Quite a steep one. Definitely a difficult one, but I'm gonna get rewarded for getting to the top because you can see so much. Checking out all the details of this path before today, so I'm not sure exactly how far I'm going to go, what the elevation changes are like, and so on. I have like a rough idea of how far away things are, but I don't know anything precisely. Possible that I could end up in Quay, not that one. That is quite a way along the coast, but for me that's like, I think still easily doable within a day. But like I said, I don't really know the elevation changes, so it might be like relatively easy from here on out. It might be really difficult. I would always err on the side of it being more difficult because this is Wales, not Cornwall. A lot more hills about. Which I guess what's been most difficult for me in Cornwall is that section of the coast between like Port Isaac and Boscastle and a bit more along. There are a lot of very steep bits along there. I've found that the couple of times I've walked that, it's been significantly more difficult than most other things that I've walked, which I suppose is great because I do have a marathon run in June from Rock to Boscastle, so I'll have to do all those bits. Although it'll be going in the other direction to how I've done it before. I'm not sure if that will change anything, because I think most of those bits, I don't know, it feels kind of like if you're walking southwards you have to go up the steeper sections and down the parts that are not so steep. But I think there are some parts where it's just steep in both directions. I don't think it's quite so bad though. But I feel that I'm quite looking forward to that at this point. Then of course in September I'll be doing the Saints Way trail from Padstow to Quay, but I might get some practice in on that one before then. I've done it before and it's not super difficult. I mean, at the time that I did it, I wasn't as fit as I am now. But even back then, I didn't have too much trouble, like walking that path in, I don't know how long it was, 8 hours or something. It might have been just less than 8 hours. I remember finishing it a lot quicker than I expected to, anyway. Because I didn't really have trouble walking quite quickly throughout the entire day. Coincidentally, it was on that day that I happened to walk that path on the day that a race was happening on there, which I knew nothing about. But I was speaking to the event staff because they kept noticing me at their checkpoints as I was walking through. That was what motivated me to get into running, because I remember on that day like going at the same pace as quite a few people who are in that race. And the event staff that I was speaking to, they said that I should consider joining it next year, which is this year now. And I thought, like, why not? I literally like got some running shoes and started running from the very next week. I just went out and attempted to do a marathon without having run properly for quite some time. Didn't do super well. Like, my first attempt at doing a marathon, well, trying to run and timing it, was just over 6 hours, and I maintain that I would have got under 6 hours if I didn't stop to put on sun cream. But, well, to be honest, that's still very close to like what my best marathon time is. But the last time I timed doing a marathon was in December. That was the last time that I went out to try to do it and actually felt up to it. And I had a bad knee at the time and I could hardly run, but I still beat the 6 hours by, I don't even remember now. It's like, I think I got 5 hours and 45 minutes or something. Which I know I can do much better. I don't know, I haven't really felt up to doing it for quite a while. It's a bit frustrating sometimes. So a lot of the time I want to do more than just go out and do a long run. Like, I've enjoyed spending a day walking 50 or 60 kilometers. Obviously I did that Smuggler's Way recently, which was close to 60, and a significant amount of that I was running. I didn't beat any of my best times because Bodmin Moor kind of got in the way of that. But I feel very, like, encouraged by my progress. It's just that I haven't really just focused on running a distance and trying to get a good time in that. I find I'm just doing other stuff most of the time. So I think soon I'm going to just go out and run marathon distance over something at least relatively flat. I mean, where I would normally go to do that distance is like down the camel trail towards Trevose Head. I can skip out the steeper parts of the cliffs, and then there's not too much up and down. Which I think, if I'm just trying to get a decent time, and get some practice in for running, and trying not to slow down to a walk or anything. And that's probably a good way to do it. Can also just run back and forth across the trail. That is what I did when I set my best time in a half marathon, which I did in like 1 hour and 47 minutes. I was quite proud of that because I didn't slow down from running at all. But yeah, the motivation is there. It's just like, I need to be on a day where I really feel like I've got the energy for it. I think I'm starting to feel that a bit more now that it's not so cold. I like these little symbols they've got on the signs. Looks like up there. The rabbits are so fast. It's probably to be expected, but you do walk through a lot of sheep fields in Wales. Don't want to be overly critical, but the view from here is not too great. A couple of fields and the sea. I guess if you're up the top of that hill, you'd probably see much more. Anyway. Looks like just follow this track for a bit and then Coast Path should come off at the left at some point. Can see the sign. quite nice now that I'm like below the hill, out of the wind. Interesting part of that house. Oh, where am I? This way, I think. Trying to stick to the path. Not very clear where the path is. I guess that's being rebuilt or something. Yeah, am I on the left or the right of the fence? It seems to suggest that the path is exactly where that fence is. That sets up. Interesting. Perhaps the route has changed and I don't have the up-to-date version. I think there was a route around the top of one of these fields. Am I going up here? Not according to my map. Says to stick to the outside along here, at least for a bit. Random shoe there. Looks like I go up the hill a bit now. Since that first cliff coming out of Aberystwyth, it's not really been so bad. It's been relatively flat. A couple of steep sections, but nothing significant. Shall see if that continues throughout the day. Looks like there is potentially a bit of up and down coming up. Might be just coming to the top of this little bit of ascent. Hasn't been particularly steep. Going down a bit, then back up again somewhere. This is like an actual path. I wonder how old this surface is. Tend to also find a lot of bones in these fields. So there have been a few bits of up and down, but like I said earlier, since that first cliff this morning, it's not been anything significant. I mean, after yesterday, probably none of it would seem significant anyway. But it's kind of different when you're like walking almost just straight uphill to the highest point compared to like just going up and down repeatedly. That there's not great visibility today. At least it hasn't started pouring down with rain yet. Quite a steep slope just there. Better watch where I'm going, make sure I don't trip on anything, as I am prone to doing. I did see sheep on the path. They're okay up there. See, they figured out how to get out of the field. Looking at the map, I would have liked to walk to Aberystwyth, Cardigan in English, but I think that's probably like another 50 kilometres along the coast, which probably a bit too ambitious for today, just for a couple of reasons. feel like I shouldn't stop at Quay because, as we have seen in the past, Quay and buses do not go well together. But yeah, I'm just gonna see how I feel. If I feel capable of walking further and I have ample time to do so, then I continue on after that. I'm trying to remember, because I was originally planning to just walk from, oh, where was it? I think it was called Fishguard or something, up to Aberystwyth, stopping in several places. And I think when I looked at that, I thought walking from Aberystwyth to Aberystwyth was a bit too far. But I didn't end up planning that fully because I decided not to do that. So I don't remember exactly what the details were. Hopefully there's some signage down here because my GPS just doesn't have any paths from here. Like, the path ends at this holiday park. I'm not sure where it reappears on the map, but it's not anywhere close by. I think it says I should have to go up to the main road and walk along a bit, but I'm hoping you can just like cross the river and walk along the beach or something. I wonder if there are actually any people here. It's not quite holiday season, I guess. Can see movement. The sign did say go up the road for the coast path. So I'm doing that. We'll see what happens. Seems like quite the detour. I've not seen any further signage. So I suppose maybe you do have to just walk up to the main road. I guess it's all privately owned land. Owned by the holiday park. There was a place like that when I was walking up towards St. Austell. There was a holiday park and coast path just has to go out on the road around it. It's not insignificant distance. There's a Coast Path sign there. So somewhere down here will take me back to the coast, and then continue on. From what I could see when I was up on the hill, it looked relatively flat for a while. Apparently this is what I need to walk across now. Big stones. My feet are really starting to feel it, like walking along the road there. It's very hard ground compared to grass and the mud. And this is like that, but also uneven. But it'll be fine. It's relatively flat along the top. Well, I'm glad that I'm off that beach. Very difficult to walk on all those stones. So coming up looks like some nice easy stuff. It's relatively flat along here. Still yet to see any rain. It's quite mild, which I did expect. It's not too windy at the moment. But the forecast was like 90% chance of heavy rain. Thankfully haven't seen that yet. Looks like the cliff's coming up soon. Crossing through a small town shortly. Also impassable after heavy rainfall. Good thing it hasn't started raining. I think I might have to go on the actual beach. I absolutely love walking on this stuff. See the other steps. Actually, I don't think I'm supposed to come up these steps. Looks like I keep going. Looks like that is the reason it's impassable after heavy rain. There will be too much water flowing. Now then, am I supposed to be up there? Do I keep walking along the beach? I think it looks like the beach. Looks like the rain has now started coming in. It's only very little at the moment, so hope it stays like that. Coat was about to come off a minute ago, but as soon as I felt the rain I just thought I may as well leave it on just in case it suddenly starts raining heavily. I do not want to get wet inside my coat. Seems like this beach goes on for a while. I can see where you come off the beach, thankfully. Almost there. Freshly fertilized field. You can probably imagine what it smells like. Gone up again a bit now. this is much nicer than walking across that beach. I think that really was starting to take it out of me a bit. And very difficult to walk along all of those stones. It has started raining like continuously. It was raining a bit before, but it was on and off. It's still not very heavy. I expect it's going to pick up in a little while. I'm definitely thinking that New Quay, not that one, will be the end point today, because I think all the walking is finally catching up with me. Like, it's not my legs, it's not my knees, it's not my ankles, it's just the bottom of my feet. Which is kind of annoying, because usually, like, I never have to think about how the bottom of my feet feel until I reach quite some distance. But today it's like most of the day I can feel the bottom of my feet. Like, if I stop for a few minutes, it'll go away. But I don't want to just keep stopping. But I think it's probably a good idea to not try and go like super far. Just stop at a point where I'm still comfortable with how I feel. And I know that I'm not overdoing it. And all day tomorrow, basically, I'll just be on the train, so plenty of time to rest my feet then. See all the cows. There's a road up there, and I've seen someone walking a dog in front of me. So I assume I'm quite close to civilization now. Probably be a good time to stop in a minute, drink some water. I need to change my battery because this is about to run out. I have to say it's a bit of a weird one for me to feel like I'm having a bit of difficulty. I don't normally feel anything on the bottom of my feet. Like, I usually just associate that with being tired at the end of the day, but I don't feel tired. It's like I feel like I've got energy, I could do whatever I want, but when I stand and walk on my feet for like a sustained period of time, my feet are just like, nah, don't really want to be supporting your weight any longer. I don't know, I never really experienced that. It's usually like I'll feel it at the end of the day, and then the next day I'm feeling fine again, which is how I've been the last few days. But I guess it just kind of builds up, and if you keep going at it, then it's sort of less and less each day before you start feeling something. But I've not got too far left to go anyway. just going to take a minute, get some food and drink, and let my feet recover slightly, and then I'll continue on. See how long I go for before I can be on my feet again. Don't know what the terrain will be like. Hopefully don't have to walk over more stones like down there. If it's flat like this on grass, then I think I can go at quite a good pace. But I imagine I'll have to go up some hills at some point. This is Wales. Hills are like kind of what you've signed up for. Stones have kind of returned. Looks like I have to stay on these for a while longer. Coming into Aberystwyth now. We'll walk through the town and out the other side. So, out the other side of the town. Back on a path. Looks like going uphill a bit. Steps. This feels like the last stretch, not just of the day, but of this trip. Because once I finish today, then I think I'm going to try and get a good night's sleep, and then tomorrow I will be leaving. Hopefully I can use tomorrow as a rest day. Yeah, I think it's been an enjoyable few days. Probably something that was worth coming and doing. But I think I'm glad that I decided to do this. Otherwise, what would I have been doing with my week off work? I don't really know. I think this evening I'm just going to want to get off my feet, try and get a good sleep, because I will be leaving early in the morning. To be honest though, I'm not sure what I'd want to see if I did go wandering about. I get some kind of weird feelings because, I don't know, having lived in Aberystwyth a long time ago, it's kind of weird to be there again. Ground is starting to get wet now. It's been raining for sufficiently long enough. Feels like it is slowly getting slightly heavier rain, but still nothing too bad. Getting ever closer. Sometimes the GoPro seems to stop working, like fails to switch off. Now I think when it does that, it doesn't save your most recent video. Did that just now. I don't think I lost anything significant, if indeed I lost anything at all. But I don't know, it's just a bit annoying. I don't know if that's like a problem with the GoPros. Sometimes they just fail to switch off. I guess I'll have to look into it. So I think the buses from here were at like 10 to each hour, which would mean if I get there in 1 hour, I'd be right on time for the next bus. Should probably make that. Rain seems to have stopped for now. Which is nice. Didn't end up getting too wet. I was expecting it to be a lot worse based on the forecast. The big question though, I guess, can I successfully get a bus from Quay? This part is quite nice, walking through the trees. Coming through. Not sure where the path goes down here, just based on the map, so must look out for signposting. So it's said to come this way. By the looks of it, it will go across the beach. Hopefully it's not one of those pebble beaches. Unless it doesn't go that way at all. Seems to be walk along the road. Continuing. Don't really like walking along roads, but what can you do? I think this is another case where the the beach area is privately owned by the holiday park company, so you just have to walk out around it. have a sign. High tide route or coast path. Oh, I don't know. What is the tide like actually? Oh, let's go this way. And then let's like go along the beach. Entering the beach. I want to go up here. Looks like we have some sand, although these stones have returned just to mock me. Hopefully the tide is out far enough. I think the tide looks like it's going out right now. So hopefully I'm okay to get around there. Otherwise, backtrack across the beach and go the other route. Unless there's some other way around. Although, to be honest, at this point I'd be tempted to just take my shoes off and wade through the water. To be honest, that might do my feet some good. But yes, well and truly coming to the end of the day now. The end of the day and the end of my trip. It's been good. Particularly enjoyed yesterday going up around the hills. Suppose you could call them mountains. I guess it's been nice to go back and see a place that I haven't been for a very long time. I guess the only thing I really want is for it to clear up enough that I could watch the sunset this evening. But I doubt that's going to happen. It was quite clear yesterday, but then the clouds came in right before the sun went down. I cannot tell if the water is far enough out to go across that way. I don't see any sand over there, but I should be able to go up these steps and walk along the road. I think that looks like the safer option. I've arrived into Quay. Now I just need to find the bus stop. Preferably before the bus comes. Cei Newydd. I suppose that's the Welsh name. Arrived at the bus stop with 15 minutes to spare. So maybe unlike in my first video where I walked to Quay, not this one, maybe the bus will actually come and not be cancelled. So this brings my little trip to a close, and I guess this is a good place to sign off the video. So I hope you enjoyed it. It's been a fun trip. It was definitely worthwhile. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave it a like and subscribe to the channel. So I'll see you in the next one.